some forward-looking statements, as is typical for a presentation like this. We're an exploration company. We're based here in Vancouver. We're listed on the TSX Venture Exchange. We are a group of seasoned explorationists. We've had successful exploration for a wide variety of commodities in North America and in Africa, and we're looking to continue on with that work. In terms of our leadership, we did go through a change last year. Ira Thomas joined the company as the chair of the board, and helps to supplement our experience, particularly our experience in Africa, which is a key part of our project pipeline right now. When Ira joined the company, we took a look at where North Arrow was, what we wanted to do. As a company, we had a number of lithium properties and a number of diamond properties that we've been evaluating. And the lithium projects we looked at and we thought, these really aren't what we want to be focused on, that we should sell them. And so we have done that. We've announced the sale of our NWT lithium properties to Lift Power through the closing of that sale, which is sort of imminent, and we expect to announce very shortly. We'll get exposure to Lift and their evaluation of the Yellowknife lithium project, as well as the work that they do on our properties. Our diamond properties are all located in Canada. We like them. They are really good. The diamonds have been tough, and that's really a big part of what we faced. We can hold those on the side for now. We've done enough work on those properties, 10 years secure, and we can wait for a diamond market to come to us. So as part of that, we looked at what do we want to be doing. Through the latter part of last year, we looked at a number of opportunities. Some were kind of greenfields, some more advanced and in different jurisdictions, and we settled on the Kraaipan Gold Project in Botswana. It's a regional scale, belt scale exploration opportunity, essentially a greenstone belt in a really good jurisdiction, and with a group of explorers that we think supplement our group very well, that have a lot of in-country experience. And those were sort of the three key things that we wanted to see when we're looking for a project. Our partner I'll get into is a company called Rockman. They have offices in Gaborone. They've operated in Botswana for about the last 3 decades plus. We think that Botswana is a premier jurisdiction in the world for exploration and mining. And as I mentioned, it's a belt scale opportunity, which are really rare to identify on a greenfields basis. And we think we have it, 3 really key ingredients. Just in terms of Botswana, just a few words. I mean, it is Africa. It's arguably the most stable democracy in Africa. I think a good representation of that is they held elections last year. The ruling party lost. There was a change in government. The president who lost called up the incoming president and said, we lost. We'll do our best to make sure that there's a smooth transition of power. And that's what's happened. It's all done. No headlines, no drama. Life is going on. It is a Commonwealth country, so the standard of law is based in the Crown, so very similar to what we have here in Canada. And there's a reason why then it really ranks near the top of global indices in terms of investment perception and places that investors want to put their money. These aren't African rankings, these are global rankings for Botswana. It's a country that understands the benefits that mining can bring to its population. The best example of that would be diamonds. It's part of the reason that we do know the country well, is because of our experience with diamonds. But when diamonds were found in Botswana in the 1960s, it was the 3rd poorest country in the world. Present day, the country has free secondary education, so free high school for everybody. There's a public healthcare system that all citizens of the country have access to. There's excellent infrastructure that's been developed. And all of that has really come on the back primarily of diamond mining. So it's a jurisdiction where the leadership understands the benefits and now understand that there really needs to be some diversification away from diamonds, and that's where projects like the Kraaipan Gold Project come in. We're seeing enhanced exploration in other areas up in the Copper Belt in the northwest part of the country. It's an area where a number of public companies are advancing projects. In terms of where Kraaipan sits, it sits within the Cap-Val Craton, and so the Cap-Val Craton is like the Superior Craton here in Canada, and so it's a kind of place that's really great exploration target for old Archean gold deposits. But when we look at the Cap-Val, it's 2/3 of it sits in South Africa, and that's where all of the known mines are, essentially, when it comes to Southern Africa. The 1/3 of the Cap-Val that sits within Botswana has seen very little exploration. The known mines tend to be diamond mines, and there's been very little gold or base metal exploration, and the key question on that would be, well, why is that the case? And the answer really is, it's geological, but it's very recent geology. The sands of the Kalahari Desert cover up the Cap Valley in Botswana, and so it just hasn't seen much exploration. And for us, that's the opportunity, because the geology is the same. There should be the same opportunities for new discovery. So the Kraaipan Project covers the northern 60 kilometers of the Kraaipan Greenstone Belt in Botswana. It's about a 200-kilometer belt that extends from South Africa up into Botswana. In South Africa, there's a number of known gold deposits. Harmony Gold has been operating the Cal Gold Mine since the mid-1990s. It's about 40 kilometers south of the border. That is our target deposit. And then it's a regional belt, and there's been a little bit of exploration that I'll touch on that we can point to show that we do have some smoke on the property, and that gives us some encouragement to carry on with what our exploration ideas are. Structurally, won't touch on this. Big crustal scale lineaments are important when it comes to Archean gold deposits. So think again, if you look at the Superior, think of the Larder Lake Cadillac Fault or the Desert Porcupine Faults, where all the gold deposits, and many of the gold deposits lie along these structures. They're conduits for fluids to come up into these rocks, and if those fluids contain gold, then you can have gold mineralization. And in Kraaipan, we have that evidence in the form of the Cal Gold Mine, as I mentioned, that Harmony's been operating since the mid-1990s. So just north of 4 million ounces of gold in that deposit. It has a 12-year mine life still ahead of it. So a multi-million ounce deposit, iron formation hosted type target, and that's what we're looking for. There's an extent of the Kraaipan within our leases in Botswana where there are some outcrops of iron formations, and that's where there was some work done in the 1990s by Reunion Mining. They did some drilling and got what we consider to be some really interesting smoke. So sort of tens of meters of mineralization of around 1 gram per ton from surface. It's spotty, but we think that tells us that we're in the right environment. The same rocks that host Cal Gold come up into Botswana, and now we need to chase this beneath sand cover. And you'll see sort of our geology map there is pretty cartoonish. And one of the things we do note from where we have the outcrops within the property area is there's a fair bit of structure. So at an outcrop scale, you can see there's folding in the forms of those outcrops. And then in detail, there's a lot of deformation within those iron formations. And so one of the key pieces of work we're going to undertake in the very near term, kind of right now, is detailed structural analysis of the rocks where they're exposed. That'll help us to better understand those historical results, and it'll also allow us to better interpret what's happening beneath the sand cover as we extend our interpretations further north into the belt, and allow us to look for other iron formation targets, proper second and third order structures off of that the Colesberg lineament. Our partner, Rockman, as I mentioned, they have in-country expertise. They have a drone system that we're utilizing to fly and get very high-quality magnetic data over the entire belt. We've flown about 2/3 of it. We're just finishing those surveys right now. As I mentioned, that work will then be used to help with the structural analysis that we have underway, which will lead to the definition of drill targets. Starting in April, we have a 3-month plan from April through the end of June to do RC drilling of our best target areas that we identify under structure and underneath the sand cover, rather, to test as many targets as we can within that 3-month period. So we're kind of looking at about 200 holes or so in a number of different target areas. Rockman also has access to a deep machine learning platform. I don't want to oversell what it can do, but it's a platform that has worked in the diamond space and found new deposits, and we think it can be revamped to look for iron formation hosted gold mineralization as well. The deal is pretty simple. Basically, North Arrow can earn 60% interest by spending $5 million US over 3 years, and then we can carry Rockman through a PEA to earn an 80% interest in the project. So the work, as I mentioned, what we're doing, structural analysis, airborne surveys leading to a drill program that will take us through the end of June. We're fully financed for that work, and ideally then that will roll into additional drilling in the latter part of the year. And diamond properties, just mentioning one now yet. As I mentioned, we like them. This is the largest diamond resource in North America that's not owned by a diamond mining company or controlled by a diamond mining company. So just in terms of our structure, we did a rollback. We're just under 30 million shares outstanding, just under 40 million fully diluted. We started the year with 2.3 million in the bank. We'll be getting some equity interest and lift from the deal closing going forward. So we're well financed to move forward. We have all the ingredients for a very rare opportunity of a regional scale exploration opportunity in a top tier exploration and mining jurisdiction with the right people doing the work. So please come to our booth. I'll be happy to take you through it in a bit more detail. Thanks very much.